Welcome to Wednesday's video. Another question that God puts to his people, as he put to Elijah. He said to Elijah, what are you doing here? Elijah had quite a successful time. He'd defeated the prophets of Baal, sacrifices had got burnt up, he'd put them all to death. He'd had a really successful time, but then Jezebel, the queen, threatened him. She threatened to take his life, and what he did was he became fearful, became down. He said he felt that everybody was stacked against him. He was outnumbered, so he fled, and he left his servant in Beersheba, and he travelled another day into the wilderness, and there he just wanted to just give up. He wanted to just die. And God comes by an angel, wakes him up and gives him something to eat, but asks him twice the same question. Elijah, what are you doing here? And Elijah comes out with the same answer both times. I've been very zealous for you, Lord. I've done all sorts of things for you, and now I'm alone, and they're out to get me. And he was just in a very, very low place. And you know, God asked him that question on two levels. What are you doing here? Physically, what are you doing here? Mount Horeb, Mount Sinai, what are you doing here? But also, you know, there were a deeper level, and we were actually asking him spiritually. Well, what are you doing here? Why are you here? What are you doing here? And I do believe that the Lord often asks us the same question. See, Elijah was spiritually down. His answers, when you look at his answers, they were full of self-pity. I've been zealous for you, I've done my best, and I've had great successes for you. Look at me now, everything seems to have gone wrong. And you can imagine him answering God back, and he's, as I say, full of self-pity. And the Lord says to us today, what are you doing here? In other words, this spiritual state that you're in now, what are you doing here? That's not the place for you. And it may well be like Elijah, that you're hiding from something. It may well be that you're fearful. Elijah were both. And it may well be that we feel, well, we've done our best, we've worked hard for the Lord, and yet things still haven't worked out the way that I would have hoped. And the Lord says to us, what are you doing here? That's not the place for you. With the Lord there is always hope, and we will see with Elijah there is always restoration. The Lord's presence is never far away. Now, let me be clear, I'm not saying that Christians shouldn't be depressed. Okay, don't misunderstand me, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that sometimes we find ourselves full of self-pity, and we are fearful, and we're hiding, and we've done our best, and the Lord says, it's not the place for you. You're the son and the daughter of the King of all kings. That's not the place for you. But also at a physical level, what are you doing here? Elijah, this is not the place that you should be. I've got a job for you out there to be doing. Not just cowering about here on the mountain. That's not where I want you. What I want you is out there doing what I've called you to do. And is God saying to us this morning, this afternoon, what are you doing here in terms of what is it you're doing in answering that call that I've laid upon your life to go and to be a light to the nations, to be a light to the community? What is it you're doing here? The Lord asks us, spiritually and physically. It's indeed a great question that we need to ponder over. But you know, the good news is that Elijah, he heard from God, the still small voice, and God restored him. And off he went, fulfilling the task that the Lord had got for him. There's always hope, there's always restoration. The Lord says, what are you doing here? Where are you spiritually? Where are you physically? God bless.